Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Happy Labor Day. I've been so busy. We kind of did the Labor Day celebration early for the past 2 days. I've been cooking and cleaning and my family. We celebrated my grandson's birthday early. And then I got these beautiful earrings from my daughter. Someone sent me this cup with no name, no return. Whoever sent it to me, thank you. Nothing burger. I love it. Also, I want to tell you guys that, and some of you saw my community page, but I actually had a vision yesterday morning when I found out about the 6 hostages that were murdered right before the terrorists left. I just did a show with Mel, and some news program was talking about terrorists are always given that order. If you have hostages and you know you're going to get caught or they're coming, you kill them and then you leave, which is terrible. So anyway, God bless their souls. But I had a vision real quick, and I got to say those ones that just crossed my mind like that. I saw Netanyahu being like, it feels like it was unwilling, like he's being taken in the middle of the night before the sun rises. Because I could see the sun just starting to come up when he's gone. So they're taking him, and I saw cloth, or I could feel cloth around his face. And he does feel frightened. I think he's being taken somewhere, and not to be murdered, but I feel he'll have to pay for the infliction of what he did, him and his people did to the Palestinians, because they went overboard. And let me tell you, Jerusalem's not playing. These people, these millions that are out on the streets right now, they are so done because Hamas was willing to give. What you do is you get back everyone and release those prisoners. And then after that, you can always change your mind. But he wouldn't do it. So he could have saved those kids' lives. It's just horrible. And that sweet parent that lost her son, and they were talking, he was still alive when they were talking at the DNC. But anyway, it's very sad, but that's the vision I had. And I just told Mel, and I'll tell you guys again, and I've said this before, I get a very strong feeling that Netanyahu and Putin may be gone before Biden passes the baton January 20th. I feel like something's going to happen. Like, no, you guys are going. Will Trump, so JS wants to know, will Trump flee the country when he loses? I feel he will try. And even if he does, even though people would say, no, we're not going to give him back to you, it's almost like Netanyahu, like someone could come in the night and take him. I feel like, he won't get any more Secret Service coverage. His health goes really bad too, but he is going to lose, you guys. Trump is going to lose. I can see it as clear as day. The other thing is the weather, the climate patterns that are going now, and I've posted some of the stuff on my community page. When we do prayers, one of the first things we got to do is put a cooling blanket over Brazil, and we need to pray that energetically, because some of these weatherologists or weather people are saying it's so bad now in the oceans, it's very hard to predict hurricanes even, because they're not getting, it's unprecedented. They're unable to get the information they need. So we need to pray for, because once it starts happening, it goes pretty fast. Is it the end of the world? No. It's going to change people's ability to live in certain parts of the world. I saw that. The United States is actually pretty lucky, but there's portions of it that will suffer. Just, we're very, very lucky. Considering we've got homes, whether you rent or you own, I think sometimes it's easier to rent than to own, because then you can pack your bags and move. But we all have homes, we have electric, we have plumbing. These are great things that our ancestors didn't have. And so always give blessings to things that, we built up, that human beings built up. Okay, so he said, will he flee the country? I heard yes, as clear as day. Attempt, I see. He may get away, but he's brought back. I heard that as clear as day. Oh, they're really talking to me today. I love it. I know that Netanyahu's getting charged for war crimes. People are thanking me for the message about him. He's about ready to go. But you know what I don't understand? What about the army in Israel? They had tanks going into Gaza, and they show the tank running over an elderly Palestinian man, just getting a laugh out of it and running right over him. Several tanks. Why? I don't understand that. So it's very ugly what's going on here, and that needs to be addressed. Because why would they think they have that power to just treat regular people who are unable to defend themselves? So anyway, I'm sorry I'm going on about that. Peace will come for the Palestinians soon enough, I just heard. But listen, they're not going to forget, and their children aren't going to forget. So be careful what you're throwing at them, because it'll come back right back at you. And the United States has dropped the ball. We need to condemn Netanyahu. I think what'll happen is when Biden finally says out loud, because he already said, somebody was interviewing him and they said, are you happy with him? And he said, no. So I feel like he's saying, enough, we're done with you. And maybe even announce it. And that's when Netanyahu is taken out. I don't know if it's intel from the US going in there and taking him out, handing him to the Hague. I don't know what's going to happen. And he doesn't want to end the war because that means he has no more power. As long as there's a war, he has power. I know, Elephant said, let's send prayers to the families, especially Rachel Goldberg and John Poland. The Hirsch parents need prayers. And when I do my prayers this week, we'll definitely have them in there. Did you see how they're just mass? And they're on labor strikes. I mean, Netanyahu is worried, and he should be worried. I'm telling you, something's about ready to happen. I don't see him just saying, oh, okay, well, I'm stepping away. Obviously, you guys. No, I see them having to take him. And remember, I kept seeing sweat pouring down his forehead. Maybe when he's in that, whatever that car is that he's wrapped up, maybe he's sweating like a pig and saying, uh-oh. Okay. KK says, how do you see the debate between Kamala and Trump? Will Trump go crazy? He wants to be big man on campus. Oh, he's going to spew lies. He's talking stuff that's total crap. Did you see that picture of that young kid at a Trump rally wearing a shirt? He was just a kid, 11. It says that Kamala is a hoe. So obviously his parents got him. It's just so ugly what people are doing to each other. Tell me about the debate. I see Trump beat red, saying all kinds of lies. I see Kamala doing this. No, you need to listen up. I see the monitors begging Trump to shut up. And him rolling his eyes. So she's going to bring up the lies he's saying, and he's going to try to act like she's lying. Like a child. She's going to get some zingers in there, you guys. He's not able to match her. She will cut him down, okay? And she will work hard at doing it. They brought in that gal with the blonde streak to help Trump with the debate, because apparently she hit Kamala real good when Kamala was running for president. I don't remember what she did. That's how impressive it was. But she's going to try to get him to hit her right where it hurts. But Kamala comes right back on him. It's going to end things. There's a whole new view here. She's the winner. And even more people will change their vote for her. It's going to break Trump's heart. It's going to be so hard for her to be able to get in there and say these things, but she'll get them in there. But you almost think he overpowers her. So I don't want you guys to freak out. I do see the monitor saying, sir, like maybe they'll be able to shut off the mic. But like, sir, please allow her to be able to answer. See, before they tried to do that with Biden, but Biden kept stuttering and he couldn't answer. She's not going to have any problem with that. Christine says, as soon as I read the news, I thought this is the end of Netanyahu, and he knows it too. Somebody's going to grab him and take him out. The Gang of 8 are meeting tomorrow to discuss national security threat. Russia is a big one. And China's two-faced. Don't believe how they said they're not accepting anything from Russia, which is a lie. And also the rumor that Putin is dead and the other guy was fake too, fake news. The Gang of 8 are meeting tomorrow. I'll tell you who's the biggest security threat is Biden. I mean Trump, sorry. Trump is a huge, so here's the military. They have to even look out, we have to look out for our own military? That's what this says. Don't be a fool. So listen to the inside chatter of the people on the ground, okay? They want peace, and a peace will eventually be found. What's really going to help is when Trump loses. And they're looking at Germany. Now, my son explained to me why Germany turned right, that they haven't done that. It's because Germany was allowing people to come in. And what happened is they didn't put anything on them. Like, you can't kill a woman here for not wearing her hijab or whatever it is. It's against the law. But there, they let them do their thing. So they're isolated in their own thing and making people stressed out. That's part of the reason this went this way. The guides are telling me to tell you, it will bring on some change, but it's not going to be Hitler type change, but it will go back to the middle. Okay. Okay. Everybody's writing about Netanyahu. Now remember, the hostages are no longer in trouble. They've lived in this ugliness, I have not been able to tap into them yet because I think they're very shocked that they died. They struggled so hard to live. And that poor kid, the one that the mom asked about him, he lost his forearm. I think it was his right forearm because he was trying to pull grenades away when they were throwing him. He really got sick from that. He wasn't very well. That's what they're telling me. Yeah, by the way, someone's saying, well, the media tried to clean up their act when Trump loses. And I happened to glance over at CNN to see if they were talking about the march in Israel, and Dana Bash was on with these people. She's talking trash. Well, she's a maggot. She's talking trash again about Kamala and stuff. She's a maggot. She's going to be a nobody. So Harris has said she will not cut back on fracking. That was a political move because I don't believe she likes fracking. But when she's in office, I see her making sure it's very, very limited. Because before, when Trump was in office, it was carte blanche. Okay, Madeline wants to know, is there still energy around DeSantis being gone? Oh, he's losing, you guys. Remember, I kept thinking perhaps Florida turns blue? I don't see him not being taken out. But he'll be shocked that it turned blue, and everybody's gonna blame him. Well, the ones that don't want him won't vote for him in, what is it, 26? I see him staying in there, holding on tight, but staying in there. But none of his draconian things will go through. I just see eventually they just get rid of all of it. So basically he stands there with no power. A lot of prayers for the murdered hostages. Nancy Pelosi, can I tell you, I got this hit before. This is Jen that asked us. She said, will she retire? I actually see her retiring. And listen, somebody wrote me, and I hope you didn't take it personal, and I want to apologize if you did. But I guess George Clooney wrote a thing about how unselfish Biden was, and look what he did, and that's probably the best thing since George Washington. And I thought, I don't want to hear a word about George Clooney because I consider him an enemy. I'm sorry. I would never watch another one of his shows. I don't trust him. And he went in all that, you know, even Rob Reiner. I used to follow them. I used to enjoy their jokes. Nope. The only one I gave some leeway to is Stephen, the guy The Shining. Steve something. He lives in Maine. So I do see Nancy Pelosi saying she's going to retire. Oh, I gotta look at this too. So, okay. 559 said, Midas Touch reported that they have subpoenaed Judge Merchan's daughter. How will this play out? Oh, now why would you mess with a judge that's going to announce his well, see, the thing is, this judge is fair no matter what way, even if his daughter's being. How will this play out? They'll make it sit for a while. I don't know what she's going to do. I see attorneys offering to take care of her for free. I see it being fought. She will never report in front of them because by the time all this is done, everybody's voted out. So it's a nothing burger. Oh, Liz says, look up Pennsylvania truckers dumping rotten tomatoes protesting Trump. You predicted this. I always saw those rotten tomatoes. So there you go, you guys, in Philadelphia. Well, now that Kamala says fracking is no problem, then Philadelphia is back in her pocket because they were like, wait, you don't like fracking? But I see why she said that. It's a political move. She's still a politician. And let me tell you something. She's very nice and she's smiling and she's going to give a what for. It's about the peace, love, dove, and the waltz is just beautiful. But I see her really not taking anything, almost kind of going a little overboard to prove her worth because she's in this man's world. But I feel like she won't let people get away with being criminals that are in Congress and the Senate. She'll ask for investigations on people and it'll seem like but even a Democrat, she won't allow them to do it. Okay. So everybody asks about Trump and he will be held accountable. We'll throw again because almost every time, I don't know why the guys just don't open up the door. Do you remember when they told me they saw Merchan being very mad and telling the jury to leave the room? I saw that, and then I think a couple of days later it happened. He wanted everybody in the courtroom to leave. But it wasn't because of Trump, it was because of that idiot. He didn't like the disrespect. And he don't like the disrespect toward his daughter either. Do you see Trump being sentenced? Yes, I do see Trump being sentenced. Can you give me the extent? And definitely something to do with money, but I think they're limited on the amount of money. The cycle will change. 9 of Cups. Options. Remember I told you, he may say you're gonna need to serve jail time, but I am gonna hold off until the election is over. Something to do with holding off, but that's why he takes off when he loses. Hold on. So there's a sentencing with options. So I do see him giving him a what for in his conversation sitting on that bench. Let's see if I can do a deep dive. Rashawn. Angels of Light, you gave me the hit on him pointing for everybody to leave the room. Can you tell me what, Rashawn? So Trump has to be there, you guys. There's some things Trump doesn't have to be. He has to be there. Can you tell me? Take me there. He's lost energetically. I'm hearing that he lost that debate. He's already pissed off about that. I don't know what he said or did, but something's happened. And this whole thing with that interview is saying, I have immunity, so I can do what I want. Yes, I cheated. Yes, I cheated on the ballots. Yes, he said yes to everything in that interview. He's admitted, yeah, I did it. So what? I have immunity. Boy, that was terrible. What they're going to change that, by the way. Tell me what, Rashawn is sitting at the bench. Oh boy, everybody and their neighbor will be holding their breath on this. He's really going to give Trump a what for. He's speaking and he's just saying all this stuff. I see Trump groaning or rolling his eyes or something. I see a jail sentence. I just saw it. I see him saying you will be remanded to the such and such place on this day. He's still considered a prisoner. He's out on bond, but he'll be remanded to the jail right after the election. I'm sorry, you guys, he's going to make, but it's only a couple of months away. So by the 18th, we got a month and a half, less than 2 months. Because he'll say to him, I know that if you win, that basically it's over. But Trump will use this and run with it, saying, see, that's why you have to vote for me. Keep me out of jail. I need you. He'd get his people to rally around him. If he put him right in jail, and Marshawn knows this, if he puts him right in jail right now, it would cause too much chaos. He has to tell him, I'll give you till you run, and if you lose, you're done. Okay. Marcy wants me to read on Newsom, and he's being attacked for the homeless situation. And now, didn't the Supreme Court said you can arrest them? Well, here's what's going on. The encampments that are in the cities and interrupting with people being able to live is what they're looking at. My son reminded me of this. What they don't want you to do at national parks and stuff, but that if they gather together in the forest or something, I guess it's okay. But they will start, this is actually going to create a bigger, this is kind of like what we wanted, even though it's ugly, okay? What it's going to do is so many people will be going to jail that they have to address it. So what they're going to do is they're going to have to address the ones who are mentally unstable and just help the ones that just need a break. I see them making sure that they're going to start building things for people so they can have a life and a job. A lot of people will be hired. I see Kamala in office hiring a lot of people who are going to be like the front line, checking out, who's a drug addict, who do you do this and that, because there's a lot of people that just don't really want to live under a roof. They like living out, they like being homeless. So the other thing is we got so many things getting ready to happen with the weather that a lot of these encampments are in trouble, but they have to be very careful. So Newsom, actually, may I say, the rich and the people with a roof over their head aren't as mad at Newsom. The progressives will be mad at him. It still doesn't deter from him sort of being in the forefront. I just saw him talking to Kamala about a cabinet position. Okay, let me just tell you what I heard. We can check on this later. Would she be talking? I think she picks a woman, but it's almost like attorney general or assistant attorney general kind of energy. But it feels like a big, maybe not this year, maybe for the second year. I'm not this 4 year, the second 4 year, to kind of get his foot in the door. I always saw him winning down the road, but he might be in his 60s. Because I think Tim Walz's health doesn't feel that good. We'll deal with that later. Tim Walz has some issues coming up with his health. Did you see he's losing weight because he's so busy? Okay. Will more Native Americans hold offices, state and federal? Absolutely, yes. Yes, I heard yes, yes, yes. Absolutely, yes. I don't know why people keep asking me if Walz and Harris are going to win. They're going to win. I'm not going to answer that anymore because I can guarantee they're going to win. And I see the electoral. Watch my guy, David Feldman. I see the electoral vote being high, not close. High. Okay. In fact, I think I see her winning Georgia, and I think with Florida, it's like it's done. It's almost like they know it's over before it even starts. Bob Casey's going to win the Senate race. Bob Casey will win. Now, Judge Cannon being completely removed from the bench may happen, but it's a few years away. But I see the case coming up again with a different judge. Oh, this is an interesting question. It's been over 20 years since Lacey Peterson has been murdered. Her husband has been convicted. He still claims his innocence. He's not innocent at all. I'm sorry, you guys. I actually saw what he did, and this was years ago before I even had a show. And a friend of mine, she was a psychic too. Her and I sat there, and she totally agreed with me. I saw them in the kitchen. I think she was talking about something or found out that he was cheating yet again, but she was angry. And she's telling him, I think she might have even been heading to the phone. She's telling him she's going to begin the process because it was the holidays, it was like just awful. The poor girl was so sad. She was going to start the process for a divorce. I see her saying, I'm going to leave and I'm letting my family know that you're a cad. And she gave him a what for. She had already warned him because she found him cheating before. But what I saw was him grabbing her at her back. I don't know what she was wearing, and he yanked her. He yanked her down really hard, smacking her head. And then I think he choked her to death. She was semi-conscious and he choked her to death. Then he put her body in the boat and went out and dropped it. And the reason her head was gone and they've never found it is because she had blocks holding her down. So the rope kept the head, but the rest of the body fell off. And then when you're deceased, the fetus will flatten and it came out and floated out. So never. He's guilty. Sherrod Brown is going to win, absolutely guaranteed. Okay, absolutely guaranteed. Let me tell you, Israel's going through something right now. Israel is done with Netanyahu, and I see neighbors with neighbors getting stronger and stronger. And I even see some collaboration with military. Even though it was so ugly what the military is doing, I saw them or somebody in the inside, because you know, Israel had a whole bunch of Olympians that were killed. And you know that they were able to find every single one of those people that did that. And it took them many years, but they got them. They got all of them. I think they killed all of them. But anyway, don't put past. Israelis have gone through so much that no, they're not going to put up with it anymore. It was terrible what happened, what Hamas did, but that he should have made an agreement to release all those children and go ahead and give them the Palestinian, and then later come back and do something else. But he could have saved those kids. That's what they're really upset about. These are precious angels. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, Jim Bag Jordan. Yeah, he indicted or he subpoenaed Marshawn's daughter. Marshawn does not appreciate that. I don't know why they do that when Trump's coming up for sentencing. I mean, why do you want to wear red with the bull? You mess with the bull, you get the horns. You know what I'm saying? Jim Bag Jordan, is he going to ever go to jail? Not. He's going to go to jail, or some sort of thing's going to happen to him. Yep. Because of January 6th. Because of January 6th. Absolutely. Patience. And he will get his just rewards. Maybe not even until October of next year. Now, somebody says, what happened with Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago? They had a little meeting, a round table meeting. Trump tried to act like he was president. Trump's telling him to go ahead and wipe out Gaza Strip. You need to just take them all out. Yeah, you may lose some kidnapped hostages, but you know, that's the price you pay. Netanyahu didn't want to make a deal. It's not as if Trump talked him out of it. People are saying Trump told him don't do it because it makes Biden look. Netanyahu didn't want to do. He went to Trump because he knows Trump agrees with him. So that gave him more like, yeah, because then if Trump is in office, you know, but they're about ready to find out Trump won't be able to help them. I see Biden getting much harder on Netanyahu. I'm telling you right now. I could see the way he said no today coming off that plane. So something really good is going to happen. I see Biden making an announcement that they're done with this. Nothing else to Israel, because the people have spoken. Look what's going on in Israel. He doesn't have to do it based on Americans. He's doing it because as a president, he sees the people don't want this. So he's going to say, no, we're not going to stand by you because your own people don't stand by you. There you go. That's a weird hit. The sacrifice of these hostages, and I know they were Jewish, but it's weird. I got the image of the body of Christ and the washing of the blood off his body. And that their blood, like in Christ's blood, is in the ground and it will never go away. Their sacrifice is like a new beginning. So think of like when Jesus of Nazareth died and then he rose and all that they said. It's almost like a new beginning for Israel, like a new arising is what that vision I just got. That was weird. Oh, that hit me hard. Okay, I'm even kind of dizzy. Eugene Vindman, I really want him to win. Eugene, are you going to win? I just heard yes. Let's do a 3-card spread. I really like him. Oh, look, you guys. He's going to win. Yay. I see the conflict. I see Israel coming to an agreement with Hamas temporarily to get back their people. And then, but I don't see Netanyahu in the front of this. And then I see no bombing of, I see just like they did with those Olympians. I see them going underground and catching them and killing them, the Hamas. Will Jeff Jackson, a Democrat, win an election for Attorney General of North Carolina? Jill Stein. Somebody's mentioning Jill Stein. Nothing Burger. Ooh. Is there a possibility he wouldn't win? Jeff Jackson. We'll look again, okay, but is he already the Attorney General? Oh, North Carolina is pretty maggot. This isn't saying yes, okay? I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I hope I'm wrong. Somebody mentioned Jill Stein, that she's on the ballot in 40 states. She's a nothing burger. She's not going to make any difference. I saw her on some show. The woman who sat and had a meal with Putin is trying to talk about other people being no good. Yes, we will get Trump if he loses and runs. Listen, a whole bunch of people are writing on the social media stuff that they were paying all this money like for blood thinners and stuff, and it's dropped down to hardly anything. Thank you, Biden. Ghislaine Maxwell will release information on Trump, and I feel people are trying to stop it. Like there's insiders, even within wherever she's being jailed at, trying to stop her. She has to worry about staying alive. That's how bad the threats are. Will Utah shift towards blue in November? Will Utah shift towards blue in November? Will Utah shift? Oh, I just got a face of an ET. Sorry, you guys. I try to do this and then they interrupt me. So I just saw that. I think this is my friend that comes to me occasionally. He wants us to know, besides nuclears, that they will not allow nukes. They are also helping with the climate change as part of the reason their interest is here. And the sunspots are big. The sun eruptions that are happening, the solar flares are big deals. We're not addressing that there's nothing we can do. But they're dealing with the protection around the earth to make sure that we're not getting hit too hard. We have come to save the earth. Thank you. Many will suffer. Many shores will be lost. Stand in faith and know You'll just need to readjust, but everything's gonna be okay. This processes will take 5 to 10 years to where you finally see sort of a layoff on dramatic changes. As people go into a higher dimension and vibrationally connect even higher with the realm, ye are gods and can also create and manifest in this earth dimension well-being. Be not afraid. Thank Mother Earth for everything she gives you. And pause, vibrationally pause. And tell her, we thank her. It's almost like, you know, the natives would do that. They always thank the ancestors and everybody for whatever they got. They blessed everything. When they took a buffalo, they didn't just kill the buffalo for sport. They ate everything. They took everything from that buffalo and used it with grace. And you know, the buffalo kind of knew that they weren't just out for sport. That buffalo was shocked when the white man came. Okay. No, the GOP. Will the GOP try to shut down? I was reading something else before I started reading, before the ETs interrupted me. I think Coach will do a second term. I see him do, yes, he'll be involved in the second term. Okay. Will the GOP try to shut down the government? Well, I see some things happening with the budget, but as this goes further in and everybody's seeing the writing on the walls, this is less so. Cannon will be kicked to the curb. Maybe not taken out totally, just give her some time, she'll manage that. Oh, they think, would Utah shift towards blue? Let's look. Utah, are you going to shift towards blue? No. Well, you know, even your guy from Utah, no. Interesting. Are there a lot of rich people in Utah? Why would they want to still have the maggot in there? That's interesting. Tulsi Gabbard will be a has-been when Trump loses. So will JD Vance, and so will RK. Yes, Trump will have to pay the $500 million fine. And you know how the bankruptcy court put a lien on any monies that Trump was supposed to pay the alcoholic, what's his name? The one who used to be the mayor of New York, Giuliani. I feel like they're going to put pressure to where this has to be resolved and they need the money. That's what I see. JD Vance is cray, and his wife is she's a co-conspirator. Interesting. Bridget said, will Finland take advantage of the opportunity by Ukraine to take back its land stolen by Russia? They could, but it'll take many years. They may do this 5 to 10 years too. Why? Because a lot of the people that live there are totally, it's almost hard for them to take it over because it's Russia-sized. But I see them being able to go in there eventually. Okay. Smart Tax said, Danny Werefel, IRS commissioner, needs to go. He's been holding up much needed CARES Act refunds. Will he start to comply with the CARES Act law? Danny Werefel. Well, remember the IRS was really dealing with a shortage, but they're getting their money now. That's the first time I've heard of this guy. Tell me about this guy, Werefel. I don't think Biden is doing it. Yeah, everybody be glad he lost his job. Yep. Something's going to work up against him, something legal. And they might find he did something that was not good. Okay. So listen, you guys, I got plenty of questions here, several hundred questions, 345. So I can do another video tomorrow. I really love you guys, and we will talk again tomorrow. I'm not doing lives because it's hard to read the side thing and do that, but I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope some of it helped. Okay? Love you all. Catch you on the other side, and don't worry. Wait, before I leave, let the guides tell us. Is there anything you want everybody to know? A good shock, a good piece of shock about this September 10th, so not September 18th for Trump. Sorry. September 10th, the debate is going to end up, we're going to really enjoy what happens. So thank you. Thank you, guys. All right. But they don't want us, talking trash. So love you all. Cheers.